This is Confessions of a Refashionista.
Welcome, one and all, to the inaugural first episode of Refashionista Chat Live, which shall be happening every Tuesday at noon Eastern, so be sure to tune in, and I will, of course, also be reposting all of the videos to the Confessions of a Refashionista Facebook page. Now, hopefully, we all had a wonderful New Year's Eve celebration and people don't have too much, going on in their head, as in pain or doing the old praying to the porcelain god. But hey, who knows? I was in bed early, but hopefully you're all doing fantastic out there in Facebook land. Now, with my Refashionista live chats, this is something that's totally new that I'm hoping is going to kind of take off in 2019 and get more people reusing and living a more rockstar, refashionista, sustainable lifestyle. To help you along with that, you can head on over to my Confessions of a Refashionista blog at awesomesauceasshattery.com, and of course subscribe to my Confessions of a Refashionista YouTube channel. Also, over on the blog, I have over 1,300 completely free tutorials and articles and thrifty style inspiration. So again, there's really no reason to not be living a more sustainable lifestyle. But should you want a little bit more of a push and a little bit more help, you can always get my Sustainable Lifestyle Handbook. And that is incredibly useful, and it's only $3. So yeah, head on over. I put the links above, I believe, so you can pick up some of my ebooks, check out my tutorials, and subscribe everywhere. And let's get going into the first Refashionista live. Let me see, I have my little list here taped right below my tripod so I don't forget anything that I really want to say today. Talking about refashioning and sustainability and sustainable fashion sometimes can annoy people, and I'm not really sure why. But for me, sustainable fashion, I'll just let you my definition here, is basically not really using anything new and not using new resources. There is all the time loads of posts saying, oh, this is a new type of fabric, it's totally sustainable, and it's made out of whatever kind of leaves, and we're never going to run out of it, so go buy, buy, buy. Unfortunately, a lot of those type of products and fabrics and everything are well out of the average person's price range, so including mine. So I think a better way to kind of live more sustainably and not break your bank and not run up your credit cards buying these fancy schmancy, ethically produced, oh so sustainable, fancy new products is to simply shop at thrift stores or swap. Swapping is an absolutely fantastic way to refresh your wardrobe. Now, loads of people actually come up to me and are kind of insulted that I push this kind of reuse lifestyle and really want people to start mending and making do and using more secondhand and pre-loved items because for whatever reason they think it's gross. Now, secondhand really is, in the long run, if you really think about it, it's actually cleaner than a lot of the brand new, unethically produced items that are full of toxic chemicals that go all around the world to all different kinds of factories before they end up in the fast fashion store or, whatever kind of store that you are buying whatever kind of product. It's not necessarily fast fashion. It could be pots and pans. It could be appliances. But again, unless you truly know that this company is 100% ethical, 100% sustainable, you can never be sure that what you're buying is in fact eco-friendly or not full of toxic chemicals or clean in any way. However, if you get something at a thrift store, or better yet, something passed down or passed over or swapped, you can be pretty sure that it's clean because it's probably been washed more than once. And those toxic chemicals that are in stuff like this kind of print, hopefully will have been already washed out. And this is especially true of children's clothes that have lots and lots of graphics and prints on them. You really do have to be careful because there's nothing at all really stopping these companies from using just the cheapest chemicals that they can find, the cheapest dyes, chemicals, and they do, unfortunately. And it's us that pays the price in the long run, and the people that actually do make the clothes in, the garment workers who don't have the greatest life. But again, that's going to be a whole other video topic. I won't get into that now because I get way too worked up and passionate about that. Now, I really am interested in knowing, what is sustainable fashion to you guys? Like, do you agree with me that it's really just mostly about reusing and not bringing in any kind of new items, not creating anything really new? Or is it more about shopping from sustainable brands that you actually trust, are honest, and they are sustainable? Let me know in a comment below. I'm really, really curious to find out what you guys think. Now, something that a lot of people, when you mention that you got something secondhand, like my fantastic Jaws t-shirt, yay, total thrift score, and it was only $2, so woohoo, yay me. So, as I was saying, I'm sorry, I keep going off onto little tangents, but that's kind of what I do. It drives my child crazy. Now, where was I again? Oh, right. When people start talking about secondhand and thrifting and pre-loved, sometimes the people around you, your family, your friends go, ew, that is so gross. Now, something that I love to say, there's actually a few things, and I repeat this quite often because it is so very true. When somebody makes a face or tries to put you down because you shop secondhand or thrift, or you're wearing a pair of rockin' pre-loved jeans or shoes, simply point out to them that when they go to a restaurant, the cutlery they use has been in how many thousands of people's mouths. And the same with the plates. The fabric napkins, if it's a fancier type of restaurant, have wiped people's mouths. And if you think of it, that's like really gross. That's a lot more gross than buying something that maybe one other person has worn a few times and washed. Another actually quite hilarious one that I like to point out is people, if you've ever stayed in a hotel, honestly, think about the sheets and towels. And again, if you watch any kind of reality TV shows where they're dealing with hotel makeovers or anything like that, you've seen those wonderful black lights when you put the glasses on and you see what is on those sheets, and not nice. And yet, people don't seem to have any problems sleeping in bedding that is probably really disgusting and filthy. Or better yet, using towels on like every part of your body that how many other people have also used on every part of their bodies. And you're, maybe wiping your face with something that could possibly have been in someone's nether regions. So again, I think I would much prefer wearing a secondhand t-shirt than using hotel towels or restaurant cutlery when you really think about it. So yeah, that's just a tip that you can say to people who are kind of putting you down for shopping secondhand. And perhaps it may just encourage them to join you on your next thrifting trip, which would be fabulous. Now, speaking of thrifting, I have these lovely little cards that I have made up, and anyone who comes to my little showroom and studio in Toronto gets one of these. And this is my fantastic 4-step wardrobe audit. We will go through my 4-step wardrobe audit one day in a video, in the live video in the future. You can audit your wardrobe along with me. Now, also on the back of it, we have some absolutely fantastic thrifting tips. These are actually my top 5 thrifting tips. Now, you want to hear them? Are you interested in in my top 5 thrifting tips? But you know what? We're just going to pause for a minute because Anne has put a comment and I would like to take a second to read that and respond. I confess that while I love thrifting and wearing secondhand. Exactly. Now, sadly, a lot of companies don't put their information on their websites, so it's very, very difficult to kind of discern what is ethical, what is made sustainably. But you can pretty much be sure that if you check a company's website and they have no information at all, or they just have a tiny bit of information, and I'm looking at you, a lot of very famous fast fashion companies, then they are not ethical, they are not sustainable. But what you can do is visit the Clean Clothes campaign. You can also visit the Fairwear Foundation, and also Fashion Revolution. And these are all sites and companies that they actually do audits on fashion companies. And they put out every year in PDF format, very easy to download. They put out every year their reports. So you can actually go through the reports. I believe the Fairwear Foundation actually has a search engine where you can type in the company name and it will actually tell you if they are part of the Fairwear Foundation, which is fantastic if they are, or what the Fairwear Foundation has actually found out about the company itself. So these are Clean Clothes Campaign, Fairwear Foundation, and Fashion Revolution, 3 great resources to really help you kind of decide what brands do you want to buy and what brands do you completely want to avoid. So let's move on now to my top 5 thrifting tips. And like I said, if you come to my handy little studio and showroom in Toronto, you will receive one of these, plus a few more groovy little pocket-sized information things that you can take with you when you go shopping. So the first one, and this one's really important, you always want to allow plenty of time when you're thrifting. And I'm positive all watching will agree with me on this, because you absolutely have to go through every single aisle and every single section. And not only because sometimes people try to hide cool things in different sections, but also because you never know what you're going to find. If you look in the boys section, that's actually where I scored this fantastic shirt. And I never would have found it if I hadn't have just gone lurking around the boys section and, you know, taking it for myself. So always allow plenty of time and always hit every section if you can. Next one, try things on and be very adventurous when you are thrifting. Now, I actually don't try a lot of stuff on because I know that I will refashion it into something else. I go more for the colors and patterns, and if it looks like it'll fit, then okay. I do have loads of upsizing and downsizing tutorials over on my Confessions of a Refashionista, awesomesauceasshattery.com, for anyone who has maybe bought something that's a bit too big or a bit too small, and you would like to know how to upsize or downsize. Again, all free tutorials over on awesomesauceasshattery.com. Now, I say to be adventurous because you never actually know what you're gonna find at the thrift store. And something that you think, that's not my style at all, or oh, maybe it's a bit too vintage. If you try it on, it may just fit you like a glove and look absolutely awesome on you. Now, like I said, when we do the future wardrobe audit video, I will show you how you can very easily, in just 4 steps, discern what is your own personal, unique style that you feel great in. So that's coming up maybe next week, maybe next Tuesday, we'll do that one. Next, never, ever, ever pay attention to the sizes. And again, as we, mostly as women, as we know, you honestly, something can be a small in one brand and a large in another brand, and yet they are the identical size. And again, this is something that has come about in, I think it was the last 20 or so years. It's called vanity sizing. And some companies actually size up to make you feel, I guess, bad about yourself. I'm not exactly sure why they do that, but they do. And other companies size down. So let's say you feel like you're usually a size medium. Perhaps in the vanity sizing, you would be an extra small. And wow, don't you feel great about yourself now? Because again, we've been conditioned that we must always be smaller, which don't buy into that. Make 2019 the year of just feeling good in your own body, however it looks, because everyone is gorgeous in their own skin, as long as you feel it. Okay, that's enough of that for right now. Next one, and this one is very true. If you have a local thrift shop that you go to often, get friendly with the staff, and they just might allow you into those wonderful little back rooms, or better yet, while they're sorting stuff, once they get to know what you like, they may even set some stuff aside just for you and give you a really good price on it the next time that you come in. And this is a tip. I have used this in every country I have lived in. This has worked. You know, being friendly, getting to know people really goes a long way in the world, not just the thrifting world. Always check the accessory and bag sections, because you never know what you can find there. Now, I have a vintage handbag collection that is just it's getting way out of hand because I cannot resist cool vintage handbags, and my accessories are also, you know, a little bit overboard as well, but that's because, again, I make a lot of my own accessories from items that I do pick up from the thrift store and then deconstruct and reconstruct. But if you ever think to yourself, oh, I'm just gonna pop to the thrift store because I need a black dress, always, always, always hit the shoe section to see if there's something to go with those shoes, or the dress. The accessory section as well, check if there's something there. And of course, a new handbag never hurts, does it? So I'm just checking the time, and I think that's about it for the first Refashionista Chat Live. Tell your friends, and let's try to get more people so we can have lots more interaction during the live chats. And remember, it's every Tuesday at noon Eastern Time, Refashionista Chat Live. And now head on over to my awesome sauce asshattery.com, Confessions of a Refashionista blog. Pick up my crazy cheap, less than a coffee priced ebooks. Check out my 1,300 plus tutorials, and yeah, have a fantastic New Year's Day. And until next time, as always, I shall catch you on the zigzag. Mwah!